Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with John Long, who is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Iberostar Hotels and Resorts, which, as you all know, has an extensive array of all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean, as well as hotels in Europe. And we wanted to get a sense of what's going on, especially in the markets that U.S. travel agents and advisors sell down in Mexico and the Caribbean. And so we're going to talk to John a little bit about how Iberostar has approached the crisis, and you'll find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, John, first of all, how are you and where are you right now?
Hey, James, thanks for having me today. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, in my home office. I've been here since February 14th, and things are going well. Just, it's some strange times like it is for all of us, no doubt about it.
It's weird. Although I think I saw you on a panel earlier this year. I said you managed to grow a nice beard. It's pretty good.
yeah. No, I keep grooming it back so it doesn't look too ugly. But yeah, it's getting there.
No, that's good. We all have to come out of something with this with some kind of accomplishment. So there you go. Now let's talk about how did Iberostar deal with the COVID-19 crisis? Because you do have properties all around Mexico, the Caribbean, and absolutely in Europe as well. And we've reported on some of the resorts that you're coming back. But tell us a little bit about how you approach this.
Well, yes, definitely. We have about 120 resorts worldwide, including city hotels, beach hotels, hotels and World Heritage, UNESCO sites. So, big mix of properties. And so what we had to do when things in Europe, basically being a Spanish company, we're a family-run business, fourth generation by the Fluchá family, which has been great because throughout the whole process, they've been extremely hands-on. We haven't had to go through a board of directors to make decisions or anything like that. It's been the owners very hands-on, making quick decisions so that we can react quickly. So, for example, when things started escalating in Spain, they immediately shut down the hotels until we were able to figure out and get things under control. And they worked closely with the government to make sure we were taking care of the staff. And that sort of same thing we did in every one of our different countries, Mexico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic. And they were very hands-on, obviously doing everything virtually as much as they could. And they were doing some traveling still at the time themselves. But we created an executive board. We created a medical panel with specialists that are infectious diseases that have worked closely with organizations in Europe, but also are familiar with working with the CDC. And, we put together this board that created all these different protocols to get us to the point to where we would be feeling comfortable enough to reopen our properties.
Yeah, well, I want to talk to you about those health and safety protocols in a bit because you have released, you've been one of the companies that did release what you were doing. But interestingly enough, you had, and I remember I was just down in Mexico, and then a few weeks later, you already announced that you were going to reopen some of the properties that you sort of reopened about 3 of them. And now I know you've been reopening stuff in Europe. Talk a little bit, if you could, about which ones are now open down there and abroad.
Yeah, sure. In Mexico and in Jamaica and Dominican Republic, in those 3 key areas, we were very, very reliant on what the government's regulations were and what they. For example, Mexico's, the Cancun area, they never shut down the airport, but people got their signals crossed and they made us shut down our hotels, even whether we wanted to or not. So we took advantage of that and made sure that we put in the protocols that needed to be put in, and we were able to open up our first 2 hotels on June 25th.
Wow, so that was early in the process.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So we were very excited about that and got the green light. And then by July 1st, we had opened our first property in the west coast of Mexico in Puerto Vallarta at the Iberostar Playa Mita. So we have now currently in Mexico 3 hotels open. And then in Jamaica, we have the Iberostar Rose Hall Suites and the Iberostar Rose Hall Beach, which is part of the Iberostar Rose Hall complex, which is only about 15, 20 minutes away from Montego Bay Airport. So great location. And we're hoping to open up more properties as the demand starts coming in.
That's the key because, people want to be going down there, but it's right now it's a trickle, and hopefully more people will start to head down there. Now, you did mention the new health and safety protocols you've instituted. how have those been, and you've been communicating them out to both guests and travel advisors, how have those been received?
It's great that you asked that question because yesterday I did a virtual tour with one of the tour partners. And the first thing they said when they were doing the tour, it was like an impromptu with their iPhone going around the property. And they said, "Look, folks, it doesn't look like a hospital." It's because people have this impression is that everyone's going to be walking around with a mask. Everything's going to be closed off and very, white, sanitary, clean, like they're in a hospital. But it's not like that. It's the staff, of course, are required to wear masks, and gloves, and social distancing is extremely important. All those type of guidelines are extremely important. But the guests themselves, we want them to have as much of a relaxed atmosphere as possible. So that's one of the things that we were really, really pushing hard when we decided to reopen. We wanted to make sure that we had protocols that would keep people healthy and safe, but at the same time wouldn't impose on their vacation experience, right?
So guests do not have to wear a mask at this point, or not?
Not at this point, no. They're not wearing them in the public areas or in obviously the beach or pool or anything like that.
Well, I guess my follow-up question to that was, have these new protocols changed anything about the experience at an Iberostar resort? Or basically, do you get one even better in a way right now because it's probably not as many guests, right?
Right. Yeah, that was something we were talking about before about the government regulations. The majority of the destinations, for example, Mexico, they don't want us operating with higher than 30% occupancy in each of our properties. And so that right now we're opening up more and more hotels, but with less and less people than we normally would have had. And our strategy in order to be able to ensure people's safety and follow the protocols that are put forth by the medical board, we don't want to operate any more than 70% whenever the government regulations go away, and we do our own thing. So that's going to be our own initiative that we're driving. In Jamaica right now, we're not even at 50%. Dominican Republic, when we open up July 31st, we'll be at around 40%. And again, that's passenger occupancy, not hotel occupancy. So
right.
It could be even less of a hotel occupancy overall. It's just a matter of, with all-inclusive, we always just think about how many people are, and now of all times, right, you got to think about how many people are occupying space because you got to have the table spaced out, you got to have the beach chairs spaced out, the shows in the theater area, all that's got to be spaced out. So you were asking me before about some of the things maybe we've changed. I think a lot of things now are much more by reservation, much more things being done a la carte, much more things being done personalized, even if it's not face-to-face in person, but it's being done using the innovative technology, the Iberostar app, which is funny because we were developing it as a gimmick for guests to have to make their vacation experience just a little bit more enjoyable when they were on property. And now it's turned into a necessary tool, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll get an uptick in users from that. Now, I mean, so are buffets gone now, or are you just doing them a little differently?
It's funny you said that because buffets were gone, and guests demanded they came back. So
I mean, I have no problem with that. I've never had a problem in all-inclusive as long as the food's good.
Right, exactly. And our food's great, so that's why they wanted it. And they wanted to have more varieties and things made more fresh. So what we've done is we still have everything protected by the plexiglass, and our staff is the one that's serving our guests the food that's on the buffet. And basically what we're just operating is for breakfast. So dinner and all that is still a la carte, lunch is a la carte. But breakfast is, we've now implemented a buffet supplement as well.
No, and I actually like the buffets than most all-inclusives, including yours that I've experienced, and it seemed natural. And of course, now we have to do it slightly differently. But now, what obviously you have to get the people there to Mexico and the Caribbean. Have you seen any uptick in air service or so that to Mexico and the Caribbean, so guests can get to your resorts?
Yes, it's been great. I mean, especially by July, beginning of July, and first week of July 4th, it's really started to take off. More and more airlines started ramping up. More charter flights were coming in. All the sched carriers were starting to get back to more regular capacity. Obviously, everyone's got different load factors that they're operating with and then of course the frequencies. Like, it's funny because we were trying to do fam trips with travel agents, and every dates that we were checking, the planes were sold out.
Wow.
And it was because there wasn't enough frequencies, right?
I guess that's great. I know when I was going back and forth to Mexico during COVID, there was nobody on the flights, which was just in the middle, sort of I'd say the beginning of it. It was kind of scary in a way, but actually nice in a way because you had the pick of where any seat in the plane.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, Mexico, they've done a good job with the airfares, keeping the prices down. Jamaica's doing the same thing. Dominican, we're still working with them because there's not as many choices, but JetBlue, American Airlines, United, Delta, of course, they've all announced they're going to be, increasing their lift.
So that's not going to, hopefully not going to be a problem for you now. And I can't remember, did you have some resorts that were going to set to open this year and next, additional ones? And if so, has this crisis delayed those openings, or are you still on schedule?
Yeah, we were opening a property we opened up one right before the crisis started in February, which was in Punta Cana, which is the Iberostar Selection Bavaro, which is like a hotel within a hotel in the Bavaro complex of Punta Cana. And it's very high end. We were able to get agents in there and guests in there before the COVID started. And in Peru, in Lima, Peru, we were building a city hotel there that was going to open up at the end of this year, and that's been postponed till next year. In Rome, we had a hotel that was going to be opening up this winter, and that's been postponed as well. They were going to be opening up in April of this year, actually. Right. And we had to keep postponing that. It's actually right there near the Fountains of Trevi.
Oh, wow.
The Aruba, we still own the land there. We're still developing. And obviously, you know how Aruba works. It's a slow process, but it's coming together. And the same thing goes with Cabo, where we have development there. We weren't going to do anything. We weren't going to be opening this year for those destinations, but we haven't slowed down or anything or sold anything. We're moving forward with the projects.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, you didn't have anything imminent, so that you had property that you could, at least in the resort areas here, and obviously in the city hotels, it's a different story. And you have some great city hotels. I know that we actually have one here in New York too. So
yes, absolutely, that's the one. And we're anxious to get that one back open soon.
Yeah, no, that's hopefully, because they do need hotels here, believe it or not, because people are starting to move around, even though we haven't gone into the next phase yet. Now, you talked about travel advisors, and obviously you've had some FAMs, and in fact, I guess you've had a FAM to take a look at the resort with the new health and safety protocols. How are you working with travel advisors to kind of get them back to selling Iberostar vacations, and what kind of programs have you developed for them?
Well, we've got a team of BDMs that has been working with us throughout this whole time, and doing a series of webinars every week. And the webinars have been everything from, hey, let's just give people updates on what's going on. Let's hear what the agents have to say, to webinars on these are the improvements that we've made to our products, to now where we're doing webinars where we talk about how we care, which is the concept and philosophy of how we explain the way the protocols work. And so a lot of folks have recorded those webinars, and now that's something that TA Connect has in the library, and people can pull it. We have it on our Iberostar agents on our own site. So, doing things digitally has been crucial, of course. Mm-hmm. Social media has been very, very big for us as well. All of our BDMs have their own Facebook pages, as well as Iberostar has its own, and some of the resorts do as well. So that live footage, that 15-second clip on a video, all those type of things really, really have gone a long way in educating and sort of like maybe putting people's minds at ease as well, that things are okay. An agent sent me one the other day. They were at a property. They were at the Iberostar Paraiso Maya, and they were showing me a video of their 6-year-old daughter learning how to swim in the pool. Right? And it's just like, this is just so natural. It's like, it was surreal for a minute, because I'm so far removed from what is happening here, but yet they're enjoying their vacation, doing it just like they always did. And all you had to do is just get through the flight and the airport. And then after that, it's great, right? It's like...
No, that's absolutely true. Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot of good stuff with the advisors. And I guess the same question goes, obviously, because I know you do work with tour wholesalers, the big ones. I assume you're in communication with them. And trying to get them back to packaging all of these wonderful vacations.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of great promotions. We had a great kids free promotion, which ran for a good while, which normally we wouldn't have done that, and would actually even targeted travel in 2021. So we saw our sales for 2021 start to get a good base on there because we did up to 2 kids free at any of the all-inclusive properties in Mexico, Jamaica, and Dominican. And then, I don't want to say the word distressed rates, but extremely good deals for what is considered July, August, September, October, November, even Christmas still has great deals for it.
Well, you have the properties open, so I mean, yeah, it's everybody talks about pushing cruises way back into the later in the year, but you actually have stuff that you can sell now, and so I guess my best question is, have sales picked up a little bit because of those promotions? And then obviously you said 2021 it might be looking pretty good.
They have. It's definitely a roller coaster. Every 2 weeks, you get a new surprise, right?
Well,
So,
source markets like Florida that all of a sudden,
right.
they have their own problems, and down south, whereas we up here in New York are now the new poster boys of COVID survival, I guess, right? But that's where now people are doing it. But look, I mean, I tell you something, and and I've made no secret of this. I am a COVID survivor, and I would get on a plane tomorrow to go down to one of your resorts. So that's not a problem for me or anywhere in Mexico, to be honest with you, because that's what I do. But there is going to be some trepidation, I'm sure, by a few people to getting on a plane and going to Mexico or anything. But some people are just, the pent-up demand and the idea to get outside of the isolation now. They want to get out and travel.
Well, I know, and we've seen the folks in Texas that even with everything they're going through, it'd still be better to be down in Mexico or Jamaica. So they're hopping the plane. Those flights are going out full. Yeah. Same thing here in Atlanta. It's 100 degrees. You rather be 100 degrees here with a mask or 100 degrees with a mask down in front of a beach down in Cancun, right? It's.
I think that's an easy choice, but
right. It's an easy choice. So people are choosing that. So it's picking up, and we're little by little opening up more and more properties, which is fantastic.
Now you mentioned that you've been using some of these offers, but how in general have you been marketing Iberostar during the crisis, and now as we hopefully emerge, how will you market the reopenings and the new health and safety protocols you've introduced?
Well, we want to start doing more targeted marketing because of what's going on, especially in the United States, where, and if you look at all the states in the United States, we look at them like almost a different country by itself, and every one of these little countries in the United States is operating differently and have different tendencies. So we're going to be doing a lot more geo-targeting. We're going to be doing a lot more grassroots type things, working really, really closely together with agencies in that area, partnered with the tour operators, maybe partnered with the airlines, but not nationwide. Do things much more concentrated and in places where we can measure. We have to be able to measure much, much more now than we were before because every penny counts.
Yeah.
It's like KPIs, ROIs, all those type of things now mean more than ever before, so, and having to be able to make the argument that you need to continue to invest in marketing. You can't go dark. And we haven't. The whole time we've been continuing to invest, and we continue to get our word out there and make sure that we're in front and center when there's good campaigns and good opportunities to be a part of. We're participating in all those.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I've always said you have to market in a crisis, and nobody sometimes does that. This is the worst crisis we've ever seen in this travel industry, but you certainly aren't going to get out of it by staying dark and not figuring out different ways to promote both to consumers and through travel advisors. So you've been doing it the right way, as far as I'm concerned. But are there any other messages you want to get out to our 100,000 travel advisor subscribers out there?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of messages, but I was going to tell you before I do is June 16th, I was 24 years working with the Iberostar Group.
Wow.
And we've been through a few crises together. Our company has. And what has always really pulled us through this has been the loyalty of the travel advisors. The loyalty of the travel advisors, them getting educated, them trusting their customers with us, and us at the same time making sure that we don't sacrifice on the delivery of the product. So we haven't been cutting costs and reducing the overall quality offering that we've always given their customers. So they're gives them that, that trust level that we've always had with them. They can continue to have that as a reassurance. And so that partnership that we have with the agents is crucial, and it's always pulled us through. And that's something that our owners, Mr. Flusha, and our two CEOs, Gloria Flusha and Sabina Flusha, they've been very, very adamant about it. In fact, in order to be able to do the wave of change movement and all the protocols that we've had to put into place, we've had to spend much, much more money than we've ever had to do for a crisis. And yet we're still doing that, plus keeping the operation running the way it's always run and not taking those things away so that people can have that confidence level. And we feel like that's going to get us through, together with getting the message out there that's why you want to pay a little bit more for Iberostar, because you're going to get this and you have these reassurances.
No, that's great. Great news. Great news for travel advisors, and great news hopefully for your company as we emerge. Now, where can travel advisors go to get the latest updated information on what resorts are open up, what promotions, other things like that? Obviously, they can read it sometimes in hopefully an Insider Travel Report, but where can they go? Is there a website or other?
Yes, we do. We have a great site called iberostaragents.com.
Okay.
And there they can get all the resources, like you said, of our latest updates on protocols, hotel updates, webinars that we've done, any type of resources they need. We've got a great 5-page PDF that is like really user-friendly that they can download, and you can email it to their customers that can pretty much describe to their customers what their vacation experience is going to be like from the minute they get off the bus in the lobby of the hotel to the day that they leave. So it's a really, really nice piece that the agents can use, and a lot of them are using that now to be able to close sales and convince customers to continue to travel.
No, that sounds like a great resource. Well, John, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. I know we had scheduled this interview a few weeks ago, and I sort of went down with the virus, actually, and so happy to be back and talking with you directly about this. It is, you can't survive it, but it's not pleasant. But that said, I'm raring to go now. I got to get back on the road, and I know you're off to one of your resorts actually next month. So hopefully you'll have a great experience down there. I know you will. And just really thank you for spending some time today.
No, thank you, James. Yeah, I'll be down there for a destination wedding at the first week of August. So I'll send you some. Maybe do an interview live from down there if you want.
That's what we should do. We'll say, we'll and actually that is that is your daughter's wedding, right? So this is
well, my niece, who's like my oldest daughter. Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be wonderful, and
I'm paying for it, so she's like my daughter.
There you go. You're paying for it. Well, hopefully your company gets you a little discount sometime. But we'll see what happens. But again, it's great to see you. We've been talking on and off all through this, and you actually been very kind about sending me messages, even in the hospital when I was in there. So that was pretty cool. So great to see you. Well. And again, thanks very much. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.